All right. Hello, everyone. So, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. We've got game one between This Is Not Yoho, Secretly Yoho, and of course Tam. This is game one, so it should be exciting. Of course, both of these players are very good and enjoy a meme or two as well. So, looks like we've just got started. We've got Bombos and Sank. I missed what Tam picked up. So, already starting with different paths. In Hybrid Major Glitches, a lot of the overworld glitches are already open to us, so the opening game can have quite a bit of variance. I know it's very popular to not go to Kakariko first. We've got Tam going for this clip to check Hobo, while Yoho is probably going towards no, I forgot the name of it. The Lost Woods, and then probably up the mountain. Nothing too significant so far. All right, we're getting our lumberjack check as well. Just a heart piece. Tam also going for the Lost Woods play, or not going to be checking the item. Just like without glitches, it's usually good to wait until you might have to do AGA before you need to see. And because of there being major glitches, it's much less likely we need to do AGA. Since there's a lot more ways to actually get around in the Dark World, even without a Moon Pearl. So, in the early game, we're usually just trying to get us our next item to open up the spheres. Things like... what would open up things? I suppose Moon Pearl is always important. Although you can beat seeds without it. We generally don't like to, because it's a lot faster with it. And Moon Pearl gives us the entire Dark World. So that's kind of like the main thing we're looking at. And then things for us to beat dungeons. A lot of items that are required normally are just kind of quality of life items, such as Titan Myth. I guess Tam did do the lumberjack check. The old man, one of the easiest dark rooms to do, not even using the dust. The squirrels are beating them up though, using our pause menus to try and predict their movement. Oh no! The last second just came down. It's an easy walk back though. Looks like Cam's doing the same thing. Since we have access to Paradox Cave, going up to Death Mountain is a very, very good opening play. So, not surprising that both of our players would do that. Tam choosing to just dash the whole way. It's not any faster, but the startup of your dash is technically slower, so it's slower. But if you're using your dust to see where you are, then probably doesn't make much of a difference. I'm not familiar with what the Yoho is doing. Tam is going down to check. Oh no, more rocks! Early game can be very violent before we get some hearts. I believe Yoho skipped out on the heart that was at the mushroom spot. Maybe regretting it a little bit now. Of course, early game you might need to do some death warping, so maybe not regretting it. We'll see. So, doing our DMA, Death Mountain Descent, kind of offsets our camera, which means we can immediately go into Houlihan without any extra setup. It was nice. Yoho continuing to get bullied by these boulders. Graveyard Ledge. I'm not familiar with this method of doing it. All right, Tam's going to be checking Hashala. Like Yoho finally got it. Let's see what we got. Green pendant is ice. Nothing of importance at Taha. Graveyard Ledge is also good for farming bombs. Bombs are always a good early choice. Or good item we need. It's also going to be picking up his money. So the major thing about hybrid major glitches, it's different between overworld glitches or major glitches and no logic, is that, or different from overworld glitches, that we have a few underworld clips that are allowed, which actually affects the logic, which can cause things to be quite interesting, which we'll get into more once that comes up. But I believe the 4 clips are, there's a clip from Mire to Hera, there's a clip from Hera to Swamp, there's a clip from Spectacle Rock to Pod, and then there's a clip into Ice. All right, we've got a glove. We need at least one. I believe that was a bottle. Tam is definitely going to go pick that up. But as I was saying, those 4 clips can have effects on logic and require you to use certain keys in different dungeons than their original dungeons. Looks like Yoho is going to be doing the swim clip over to Graveyard Ledge. Not Graveyard Ledge. To Ice Rod Cave. Which is a relatively new glitch, found only with last year, so really easy to do too. So oh, this has not been a nice feed for Yoho. So many stray enemies catching him, boulders, crabs, squirrels. And carefully walking past these enemies. Well, Yoho is going to be going to the South Shore. And doing Spiral Cave without any weapon can always be a little stressful. Especially on 3 hearts, these Moldorms can definitely bully you as well. It seems to be the bully seed. So, and of course, Cam with the double heartbeat. I expect nothing less of them. Oh no! And so, with the fairy though, ooh, and we had a sword there at the dam. That's a very nice pickup. Things are going to be can actually fight back and not just get bullied by these enemies now. Of course, we also need 2 swords for Ganon for our slow list building up to go mode. As slow as we basically have nothing. All right, Red Boom. Your feelings on the Red Boom prove if you're a glitch player or not. So, looked like nothing from Mini Moldorm Cave. Amazing. A lot of these dense checks have ended up being nothing. So it's very likely that our progression is hiding in Kakariko or possibly Desert or Eastern. As of now, we haven't gotten anything that moves us forward. I guess the glove. I'm just going to go use that glove, check back at the tape. Another quick 3 checks. That sword is dupable. Not allowed in this mode. Again, nothing. And so, interesting tidbit is that the big of Hera doesn't have to be in that big key chest. So, because of the implications, it could be required for you to use a big open up, like big key from Meyer to open up Hera, I believe. Overworld duping is allowed. Interesting. That's one way to get a sword. I'm not sure what other items would be useful to dupe. I guess baubles for safety wouldn't be too bad, or silver arrows. Tam gonna pick up their sword as well now. Yoho's probably gonna be doing the... What? Okay, maybe he's not gonna pick up his sword. He's gonna dupe it. Is he listening in? He has a bottle. He has the money. It would definitely be a meta play. I know Tam likes the unorthodox choices, so... Duping a sword would definitely give you a pretty big advantage, depending on where the other swords might be. If you can get quick tempered, or if it's one where all the swords are hard to find, being in go mode because of the dupe would be a very nice advantage. We'll have to see if Tam does do that, and if it ends up being any advantage for them. As of now, yeah, still no progression. My bet is that it's going to be in Kakariko. I'm the fan of the early Kakariko play. I feel like I'm the only person. Everyone else likes to put off till they get a bottle or flute or some other reason, powder, that would bring you towards the village. But me, I'm early Kak all the way. Not quite enough money for Zora. Zora's kind of a not always the best play. Money can be very useful for fake flute from buying blue potions. So kind of where do you want to put your money? So maybe not having the money and not being tempted to check Zora could be useful. Nope. Speaking of money, whoop, we got hit. Never mind. Yeah, to get that, it requires that you have the water walks that you can clip into the side. So getting hit and losing the water walk means GG on that bet. So it's all just the who's gonna make the Kakariko play first. I guess this is our dupe. I don't know how the dupe works, so I'm excited to see it. Always fun to learn new glitches. Oh, Yoho making the Kak play first. There is our overworld YBA. We use the bonk so that it puts us right on the transition spot. I guess they're only going to be getting Master Sword. Oh, while I'm watching this dupe, I've missed everything in Blind's Hut, so... It looks like just red... Oh no, not blue now. More money, though. The Master Sword will also give other advantages in case the book comes early. We can check those and actually get the item, and making bosses a little bit easier if we're going to be doing any dungeon crawling soon. Yeah. Bow in the Well gives us our Eastern, and a mirror, and the hook shot. As I suspected, all the items in Kakariko. Always do Kak first. I'm wondering if Yoho's going to take that bow to Eastern, or even doing like when there's our Moon Pearl on Uncle. That opens up most of the Dark World, or all of the Dark World, really. But yeah, I think it's possible to like check Pod and then mirror to do Eastern. We still need the hammer to do Pod, unless we're doing the basement clip. But I'm not sure how excited Yoho would be to do that. And flippers. Okay, maybe waiting for the bottle was a good choice. Cam's going to be cleaning up the Hyrule Castle. Our escape, seeing if there's anything there. Usually in glitched modes, we tend to put this off so we can combine it with like Pyramid Fairy or something like that. Blue Boom, not good enough for Yoho. So it's interesting to see Tam do this early escape gift. Yeah, and it looks like Yoho's going toward just straight to Eastern. Personally, with the mirror, I do think it might be better to combo it with Pod as well, but I think this is also a good choice. We don't know if we need to beat Pod at all, but Pod being so item dense, I think, and I believe it's tier 0 as well, so it should be something that you're thinking about or having on your mind. Alright, Tam's also going to go for the Dark Cross with his Death Warp. So let's see what Eastern's got, what Dark Cross has got. Big key up first. I'm wondering if Tam is going to do Kakariko, or if he's going to take that Moon Pearl into the Dark World. You can't do too much in the Dark World currently. I guess we could do Thieves, Village of Outcasts, and things, and of course, Type Cave. We'll see if they're going to try and push off Kakariko longer. This looks like a Dark World play. I'm going to use the teleport to get on, and then go over towards the portal. And then we just have to do a bomb clip out. So this will get us straight to Type Cave. It's not quite the right spot for that. Yeah, put it in the chat. Yes, the Master Sword was duped from the dam. Tam did a YBA at the dam. The dam. To get their Master Sword. Which is why Yoho is still only on Master, or Fighter. So for our Hype Cave, starting out with Powder. Garbage. And Garbage. So just Powder. No Tam Swam from the dam. Unfortunately. I don't think you can Tam Swam from the dam. Like Tam is going to be going up to a Pyramid Fairy to get our proper Tam Swam, since we just talked about it. Yoho's pushing his way through Eastern. Nothing of relevance, unless I'm mistaken. But we're going to get a boss. We're going to get a crystal. That's, of course, important. Alright. Here's our Tam Swam. Tam Swam is a specific type of swim clip, kind of swimming in the opposite way of where the slope is. Of course, to do this one for Pyramid Fairy, you do actually need the Moon Pearl, kind of like with the Water Walk. Ooh, nice Ice Rod. So, not a hunt for that. I think we had a Dark World map check. Let me see if that was relevant at all. Damn. Not sure if that death was purposeful. I'm not sure why it would be compared to just saving, but it looked like he kind of walked right in, or they walked right into that Nox. So Yoho with first blood on bosses, getting our first crystal. Seeing where he'll go next. Tam doing a bomb clip here to get to the Dark Death Mountain. Or, oh, we're gonna do the Ether, the Dark Ether DMA. I figured you would check the Dark Death Mountain, but this is a way to DMA and get the Bumper Ledge item on the way, so it's very useful. Bumper Ledge ended up being nothing, though. Relevance. Got our hook clip into Hera. So it's going to be another crystal for Yoho. Clearing bosses is always good. ABC, right? Always be clearing. I have a bad habit of searching for items instead of beating dungeons, so I always end up being really behind. Good to see some aggressive boss kills. Of course, some good NMG strats. No strong weapons, just our 6 hits. Relative. All right, and there's our second sword. So that's Master there. It will be tempered for Tam. All right. At this point, Yoho's probably thinking about where is the Moon Pearl. Yeah, and I see that TR is pendant, so our Ice Rod we got earlier is not so important, which is unfortunate. I'm wondering how much Yoho is going to be doing in the Dark World without the Moon Pearl. Some things are in logic, Skull Woods, as well as C-Shape House and the other one, Chest Game. But he'll probably go down to do that. So we've got our citrus clip here, not in logic, but there is a mirror method to get down. So that's not the logical way to get down, but hey, if you get down, you get down. That's all that's important. So we got our Village of Outcasts. Check now. We'll probably beat Thieves while we're here. I'm not sure how important it is to put off thieves until you get the hammer. No. Oh no, the fairy. Yoho wanting to take a death, but not quite yet. Not even getting your super bunny. So we need to die in a dungeon because it gives us our bunny revival. You die in a Dark World dungeon when you're a bunny. When you're revived, you're regular Link, which is nice. And then when you leave the dungeon, you'll be in what's called Fake Dark World. You still have your Light World properties, but the overworld screen is the Dark World. Once you transition, you'll be in the real Light World. But if you mirror, you'll go back into the Dark World. So I suspect Yoho will check the Skullwoods, check, and then mirror, and then go down to Village of Outcast. Meanwhile, Cam is moving along through Thieves Town. Nothing of importance yet, unless I missed it. I missed the first 2 checks. I won't pretend like I saw them. It's also possible to clip from Thieves Town to Desert, although it's not in logic, it is allowed. I'm not sure if Tam would want to do something like that, but they haven't been to Desert yet, so it'd be a good way to get there. Of course, running back all the way to where you do the clip after doing the dungeon is kind of slow, and doing it before means you have to run through Thieves Town again, which is also very slow. It's probably just easier to do them in their respective dungeon state instead of doing the dungeon hopping. Yoho setting up the Super Bunny here. If you mirror the same frame you hit the transition, then you'll get your Super Bunny inside, allowing him to check the C-shape house. Get his, was it 10 arrows? Lovely. So, I'm guessing from after here, Tam will go to Hyrule and kind of do that counterclockwise loop of the overworld. Did I say Hyrule? Mire. Going to like the Mire area and then over to Stumpy and... Oh no, he came from that direction. He's doing the clockwise way. Wait, no. I remember him doing the Ether DMA. I'm misremembering things. But he's already done Hype Cave, so... I'm not sure how much more Yoho can do. We've got a citrus here he can do to get to the Mire area, and then from there we'll probably mirror to Desert. Seems like the most logical play. He can get the spot quite right. I only know the visual cues for in the Light World, so... I feel like that's the spot there. Of course, we've got our scripted blind fight. Same every time. As long as you do the same thing every time, I don't mess it up. Question in the chat. Moon Pearl was on Uncle. It looks like Yoho is in glitch jail. Is going to have to save and quit, accidentally getting an up teleport. Yeah, you always hear that, right? Check Uncle at the hour mark. Oh, well, it looks like Yoho's going that way, though. With the mirror, you'd want to set up the Pyramid Fairy as well. So then you could also check Pyramid Ledge and then come straight here. But either way, he's going to get his Moon Pearl. Glad we're not putting it off too late. More money at the big game. I'm sure Yoho's happy about that. Or maybe a little annoyed having to do all that bunny Dark World traversal. I'm wondering where the next play is for our runners here. I know Yoho's going to be doing Hype Cave, but after that, I'm not so sure. Like checking the mire area. I still do feel like Pod is a choice. Oh, there's our hammer in the mire shed, which is very important. That gives us quite a lot for it gives us a good amount of GT. And so with GT, that gives us full left side once Cam gets their hook shot, which looks like they're going to Rico finally. So we'll get all those juicy items that Yoho has. So I suppose we've got a good amount of swamp, and also on Yoho's side with the flippers, mirror, and hookshot, we can kind of get by without the hammer with our new Becky clip. So that's a possibility as well. But he's going to get his hammer very shortly. Cam's going to be getting his mirror and hookshot here. Also, I don't believe Yoho had powder when he was in Kakariko, so that's going to be an extra check for Cam. Also, it seems that our medallion is Ether from Meyer. We still got a good amount of items we need to get, but we've definitely got a lot of progress. We got a lot open to us right now. So with the hammer and the bow, I really do think the pod Eastern thing would be good for Cam. If I were them, that would be my next play at least. We have a question. There were swamp skips before? Yes, but it was a bit more involved. The Becky clip makes things a lot faster. Before you had to do kind of the flooding the dam, save and quit, and like doing it twice. Once to clip over to the water and flood it, and then clip again to reload the dungeon state. That was more without mirror, but that's also without hammer. Now that we have the Becky clip, it makes it a lot faster and a lot less cumbersome. To get our magic bat check. Deep in desert. Just a 20. Why are the players breaking the game? Because they're required to. The logic demands it. So we don't have a fire source, so we can't beat Desert Palace. So from here, we're going to check checkerboard. No love for Blue Boom. Ooh, and there's our Samaria. A very important item. Cam right behind Yoho. looking at these things. We had a major divergence for a little while, but then we've kind of converged again, where kind of circle around and everyone's done the same checks. Aside from Tam missing out on Eastern, apparently. I do believe Yoho got the hammer, not on the tracker, but like Yoho's going to be going back up to the village, probably to do what's it called? Thieves Town. As our runners both have one dungeon apiece. Different dungeons though, so. Yeah, with the hammer and the hook and the Samaria that Yoho has, Yoho did something not proper. And so has to save and quit. Whenever you accidentally screen wrap or do something, it is very good to just fail, save and quit. It's very easy to hit a transition improperly on the overworld and hard lock and lose all your progress. So. Oh. Of course, Tam doing the blockbuster. I didn't see them set it up, but I'm not surprised. It's a very interesting glitch to use a phantom block to kind of clip to the right and checking hammer pegs. That room was hammer pegs. Ended up being nothing, but it was something important that could have been exciting to see. I still love it. Anyways, coming into pod, of course, we start out in cave state. It's very dangerous to open up any chests, so you can just come in, reload the dungeon, and then start opening chests. I'm a little surprised Yoho didn't open that first door, but no major implications. Once you're inside, the key logic is the exact same as like the no major glitches style, so. Alright, from this point, I'm assuming Tam is going to be beating Hera here. Need to be careful not to open this door. Very useful for using in Swamp. Swamp is a pendant, though, so it's not so important to get there unless an important item is there, but still, you want to keep that key. We can always steal the P-Rat key. But I'm not sure if either of the players set that up. So far, nothing in pod. I missed them picking up Ether, but they both have it. So Meyer's not going to be an issue. How do they do super speed Terrapot? I don't know. I can never get it first try. Witchcraft. Tam picking up their tempered sword since they duped. And we're slowly pushing through pod. And it looks like Tam going into pod as well. As I said, this is a very good play. And Tam can do the whole mirror thing. It's very useful. I recently timed the Parapot versus the bomb method, and I believe the Parapot was maybe about 4 or 5 seconds faster because of the having the menu in Rando, it might be a little faster or comparable. But basically, if you don't get the hook speed second try, then it's going to be slower than doing the bomb setup. I was testing it out for a run, so I needed to see what was faster. Speed running. Imagine doing that. These Kadongos really bullying Yoho with this fire here. I wonder where the lamp is, like, logically, where it would be hiding. I don't care enough to try and think about it, I'm just curious. Lamp is one of my favorite items because I am a glitched runner. So. Well, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. It could be in other places too, like PR. I haven't been keeping up with what's in logic as far as fire. I'm not an expert on the logic, so. Everyone using this stair extension glitch here. I always think it looks so cool. So, assuming there's nothing significant here in Pod, I'm wondering where our next play would be. Or how close are we to go mode, even? We need Fire Rod for Moth. And actually, I believe that's it. Huh. So we're at a Fire Rod hunt now. I guess we've been in a Fire Rod hunt for a while, ever since we picked up Samaria. So, in my opinion, going to GT would probably be the best. We can clear the full basement. That's like, what, 22 items? So there's a good chance our Fire Rod is going to be there. But of course, we do have other dungeons. I don't think our players are going to be wanting to dip in pendant dungeons quite yet. But it's also a possibility Fire Rod is in one of those places. We got flippers rather early, so there might be some significance for that. Of course, Ped is dead. If Fire Rod is our only item we need, then we need Fire Rod to beat Trinex itself. That's good news, at least. Alright, that's crystal number 3 for Yoho. Seed is coming along nicely. Let's see how Tam does with these dark rooms. Dark Turtles is not a fun room, but with Blue Mail, it's not too bad. still unsure of where Yoho is going. Probably GT at this point. I can't imagine anywhere else. I mean, there's a few things you could do like Spike Cave, but nothing important. Dark Death Mountain. But yeah, this is the GT play. Okay, it's not the GT play. Thanks for proving me wrong. Right. I guess he's going to be going to Thieves Town then. Rick Tam's here, taking on our lovely Helmasaur King. 17 wax. Just some dodging of fireballs. And then some tempered sword slashes. Good. So this puts Tam at 3 crystals as well. So from here, more than likely Tam's just going to mirror and do Eastern. While Yoho's going to be cleaning up Thieves Town. They're kind of switching spots. As of right now, this race is actually really close. Like, the players have kind of alternated doing the same things. It's really hard to say if anyone's in the lead or behind currently. No one has any items or knowledge that give an advantage to the other, aside from, I suppose, the duped sword. Which isn't super significant, except for, I guess, Ganon is probably the biggest. Yoho is experienced enough that any of the other bosses won't be any issue. The only difference is Ganon's a lot slower with Master Sword. So hopefully, to make things close, another sword pops up. Yoho getting bullied in the Hellway. This has been the seed of bullying. I don't believe Vitreous is that much slower. It is slower, but not comparable to, like, Master Sword versus Tempered Ganon. Probably at most, like, 15 seconds or so added. Probably less. So... And Yoho has done low percent NMG before, so I'm sure he's got some solid strats. Plus not having to conserve bow as much. It won't be much of an issue. We'll just have to wait and see what kind of Yoho exclusive strats get pulled out for our boss fights. But yeah, GT is the biggest, or the highest density location right now, and I really feel like that's the place to be. So we can, like, either try to do as many dungeons as we can, and then go do that, or try to hope that Fire Rod's in GT. Because you do get the advantage of, if you beat GT with all your crystals, you can just fall straight into Ganon and start the fight. Of course, I don't think getting to the pyramid is that difficult. I'm not sure what the fastest way is. I believe the river clip, if you're doing it from a save and quit. We'll have to see what they choose. For now, it's just kind of a waiting game. What's the next step? But Yoho at 4 crystals. But we have 2 dungeons that are locked behind fire. So I do think searching for the Fire Rod is not a bad choice. Yoho was trying to do the funny auto walk to hammer pegs, but kind of messed up the setup, and so has to save and quit. We've got our wonderful sync, but now they're clipping to different places. Alright, Tam making that GT play that I mentioned. I'm wondering if Yoho is doing the same. It's not. Dark Death Mountain. We do have Hookshot Cave as well as Super Bunny. So that's a lot of items. And the possibility to do Catfish and TR as well. We'll see if he's going to make that dip into pendant dungeons or not. Especially with the swim clip, it's not too difficult to go check Catfish and then swim back up to the mountain. As before, you kind of had to choose between doing TR or doing Catfish. Nice half magic. Also, when it comes to GT, there is no junk fill. So you just need Hookshot and Hammer for the left side and Samaria and Fire for the right side. Little surprised Tam didn't check the tile room, which is fairly common in glitched categories to check, since, again, there's no junk fill. Nothing in Hookshot, though. Because we know right side after the tile room is going to be nothing. I suppose there's no significant loss to doing it before versus after. The only bad thing about doing GT now is since we don't have fire, we can't actually complete GT. Unless fire shows up here, like the lamp. Which I'm not sure if logically it can. But without a fire source, we can't actually beat this. So although it is a very nice item dense location, it is kind of the double dip that we have to do. Yoho has more than enough money that he can check Zora. And if this ends up being Fire Rod, that's going to be very bad for Tam. Let's see what it is. Oh no! Oh no! This is very bad for Tam. So, that is go mode for Yoho. So we can just quickly clean up Desert and Skullwoods and Mire. And then do GT. Whereas Tam's going to be on this Fire Rod hunt for quite a while. I can't imagine he's going to be going back to Zora anytime soon. So I hate to say that this is... I don't want to say it's over, but this is definitely kind of a concerning position for Tam. Because there's a lot open. Right, like we've got all of Swamp, we've got all of TR. So, yeah, doing this Dark Death Mountain play. Good. Of course, the item dense. I wonder if he'll be doing the Catfish and then swimming back. This has definitely turned the tides of this race. They were so even for so long, and then just that one check. So, but I think after this, Tam will probably check TR. I don't know. TR and Swamp both feel bad to check, so I'm wondering which one they'll check first. Yoho's just going to be pushing for these crystals. I'm just wondering how much is he going to check for other swords. So, well, I guess Tam's over here too. It's very possible he could go back up there. I figured you would think, oh, maybe not. So maybe Tam's not as out of it as I was initially setting up. Since we don't... Oh, no. Nope, he's just going back up. No mirror. Damn, no. It's right there. It's so close. So, yeah. That was by far the best time to check it. So, it's going to be a very long time before Tam gets to that fire rod now. But that's how Rando is. Sometimes it's just one missed check, one unfortunate event that leads to the loss of everything. So it looks like he's going to be checking Swamp. Or they are going to be checking Swamp. Yoho with another crystal under his belt, though. So that puts him at, what, 5? So that's very nice. And then Meyer and Desert Palace are right next to each other, so that's very good for him. I'm not sure which one would be better to do first. Do Skull Woods first and then the Meyer Desert, or do Meyer Desert and then Skull Woods first? I feel like doing the Skull Woods is better first. Or at least that's what I would do, but... So Tam's going to be flooding the dam and then checking Swamp. Probably a full clearance and then going to end up being nothing. Make sure to count the items so that we don't have to fight the boss, as we know. Pet is dead. From their perspective, that it can't be there because you need Fire Rod to do Trinex. Rip Ped indeed. Everyone loves a good Ped seed. And by everyone, I mean everyone that's not me, because I don't like Ped seeds. I'm curious at what's going to be in the Swamp Palace, though. If that lamp we've been curious about will pop up. Everyone who's not playing. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Alright, and there's our spiffy, specky clip. Don't need to waste all that time filling up the water. Yoho's going to be going into our Land Molas fight. I'm guessing he did Desert first in hopes to find like another sword to make Vitreous a bit easier. Unfortunately, that didn't come up. Tam going straight to the back, which I find interesting. Well, I suppose, what's the most efficient routing if you don't need to fight the boss? I figured you would try to check items so you would know if you need to even fight the boss. There's our third sword, so Yoho is not going to be getting that. So he'll be left on Master Sword. I guess our only hope is hoping that Vitreous or someone drops silvers or they're at the top of GT. Otherwise, we've got our, what, 56 spins or whatever it is? I do not like Master Sword Ganon. Alright, here comes the Argus fight. Oh, alright, got the zero cycle. I thought they just missed it, but was able to get it. And very nice Meyer one. And there's the lamp. So that gives Tam fire, so they can beat Desert Palace at the very least. One more dungeon. I guess they can beat Meyer as well. So that's probably what they're going to be doing next. I feel like it'd be faster just to run over there. Yeah. Like that. Don't save and quit, just run over there. So doing the Meyer, so they'll both be in Meyer together. Only 48 spins for Master Sword Ganon. Well, I hate counting, so... Or I'm bad at counting, so I never know what the number is. I just keep going until he dies. Will we get our bird toss? It would make me happy. Yoho on a search for that. I'm sad. No bird toss. But Yoho on the search for that big key. Trying to avoid the cutscene chest, because it's quite long. $12, $12, $4, $24. So 52. Huh. So we were both off by 4. Well, looks like we did have to come get the cutscene chest. This is going to be a much easier fight for Tam, though, with that gold sword. I'm still waiting for silvers to pop up somewhere. It's good that Tam is still making progress, though. That they're not just on a wild goose chase. As I said earlier, ABC, always be clearing. So we need to be clearing these dungeons. I really don't know what's going to push Tam back to Zora, though. Because they've cleared everything in that area. It's kind of very inconvenient to go up there. So I feel like we'll see things like Spike Cave and Hera Basement before we see that. I guess they use that key, so they can't do Hera Basement unless they want to do the rat clip. Or get the key rat. Alright, our fire shield coming in clutch. Making that room nice. I'm wondering if they can do Dark Room AD Spooky. I don't think I've seen anyone do it before. Not setting the altitude with the Samaria block, so not even gonna try. Just a wee bit disappointed, but understandable. We've only got 18 arrows for this vitreous fight, so we can't just do all of the eyes. To do all the eyes, you actually need 35, but we're full health. We've got cape and other things too if we want to use that. So let's see how this goes. Pretty solid. These spins are nice. Yeah. See, I don't think that's significantly slower than tempered. So that is... Oh! What an unfortunate spot for those silvers. But that's going to make Ganon a lot easier, at least. And so that is Crystal 7 for Yoho. So we've just got a good old-fashioned GT climb. So for those of you that don't remember where the big key was in GT, it's time to do the guessing game. Or maybe not. I definitely don't remember what chest it was in. Alright, lining up that clip, getting in the GT. Looks like full left, not even checking Hope Room. Did no one really find a way to skip Big Key for major glitches yet? Yes, there's lots of ways, but they're not allowed in HMG. We actually had a recent vote on the, what was it called? Stairmaster glitch. Using bottle in a stair, you can kind of get in a little bit deeper, and then you can actually clip. It allows you to clip from TR to the top of GT, so you can skip the entire climb. But we voted against it. And of course, in No Logic, there are even more ways. From Overworld Conveyor, or YBAs, and Samaria STCs, Samaria Transition Corruptions. Looks like we're getting a right side into left. Unfortunately, all those methods of ascending GT are banned in HMG. One of the reasons I'm not in this tournament. I'm just here to watch and cheer everyone on. Or if you're like me and lazy, you just Harapot to Ganon and skip Aga 2 altogether. Of course that's frowned upon, but I don't go by the rules. Alright, Yoho continuing. Search for the big key. Skipping the tile room. I'm wondering if they'll check it for like a sword, or how much for a sword they're going to do. Once we get the big key, will he just immediately start the climb or look for a sword? We know he won't find one, but... Well... No. We know he won't find one. Have we found all 4? Now that I think about it. We've only found 3. The dam... The, Moldorm, and the one in Swamp, and then Tam duped for the 4th one, so yeah. It's possible he could find a sword. Tam continuing their desperate search for the fire rod. I do feel that TR is going to be the next play for them. We've got our mitts. We haven't done things like the Smith chain either. So Smith chain and purple chest are probably also on their mind at this point. When it comes to unfortunate situations like this in races, you always wonder, are you going to check it next time, or are you just going to double down and never check it? Like, it'll never be Zora again. I'm the kind of player that always ends up paranoid and scared and making sure I check those things afterwards. I wonder what Tam is like. Perhaps we can get an interview. We've got both players doing our GT climb, though. Still making progress for Tam. Since we do need to beat Aga 2. Always good to make progress, although this progress isn't leading them any closer to the fire rod. But it feels good to do something important. Or maybe they're wondering if, or hoping that fire rod will be at the top of GT. Since we got our fire source. I know I would be hoping for it. Fire rod was on Zora. Tam, when first going to the Zora area, did not have enough money. And when they checked Catfish, ended up just saving quitting and not going back to check Zora. So that was kind of the nail in the coffin for them. Whereas Yoho put off Zora till much later, so had the money to do Zora, as well as checking the ledge. So once you're checking the ledge, might as well check Zora too. Ends up getting the fire rod. So no sword at the top of GT, so we've got our Master Sword Ganon fight, but silvers at the very least. Alright, let's hover to save the run, let's do it! Nope. Rando be rando. That's always how it is. Will it ever rando in your favor? It never does for me. I wonder how far ahead Yoho feels if he's trying to hover here instead of just killing Moldorm. Or if he feels ahead at all. Or he's just doing it for the memes, because you have to do things for the memes. Actually, getting our validation check. The run is now valid, but not saved because we didn't get the hover. Of course, if you hover, it can't be validated, but that's another story. Alright, we're both going to be going into our Aga 2 fights at relatively the same time. So I'm making up a lot of time because of those hover mishaps. Let's see what we get. First one is 2. For Tam as well. I think only 1 for Yoho. Doesn't look happy. Another 1. I didn't see Tam's. It's hard to commentate 2 fights at the same time. Oh, Tam gets it first. Doesn't help them find the fire rod though, but you got to take solace in a little bit. Oh. I guess clip is allowed in HMG, isn't it? So you can clip out. Basically, once the bat gets off screen, it triggers the bird to come. So if you can clip out, it actually causes the bat to go off screen a lot quicker, and then the bird comes quicker. Double clipe, which is hype. Hype clipe. Or clipe hype? However you want to say it. Yoho going in for the fight. This is the best time to go to Zora, but we're going south. I'm not sure what item we're going to be checking at this point, or what location. We can still swim into the portal. It's the best time to check it. No, we're going in the ice, aren't we? One of the unfortunate things about HMG is that since ice can be in logic, even without the fire rod, that means it's another place. We can't think, oh, no fire rod. It's out of logic. But Yoho into phase 3 now. Thanks to the cape, we can use those cape spins to get things moving a lot faster in phase 2. Generally, you don't go for the torch glitch when you're doing silvers. You get a nice double here. Not quite a triple. Close, but we need to light our lamps one more time. And then our fourth arrow. And that's GG for Yoho. Let's get our GGs in the chat for Yoho here. Great run. Went through smoothly. It was nice. Alright, 1:17:57. Not sure what the race time is, but that's pretty good. That's a really nice seed. I think it's a good time. I have no concept of what a good time is, though. This was an interesting seed, though. Everything ended up being in Kakariko, so the players putting it off kind of slowed progress. And despite a lot of divergence with Tam with the early Moon Pearl, they ended up kind of converging at a certain point. And they were very close, neck and neck, until the discovery of the fire rod. So it was an interesting seed. I enjoyed watching it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it as well. We've still got Tam on his search, or their search for this fire rod. I guess we do have bombos, so we can beat this dungeon. With Butter Sword, this should be very easy, though. So it's like a hot knife through butter. All right, it looks like we have Yoho here for the interview. Congratulations, Yoho. How do you feel about this seed?
This seed was pretty messed up. It felt specifically designed to beat Tam on, so.
Yeah. Interestingly, your routing choices started out very different, and you can diverged early on. Tam did an early Hyrule play, so they got their Moon Pearl very early.
Really?
But yeah, and so they did a lot of early Dark World things, where you had to do a lot of the Bunny Dark World things, which caused you to go a little slower.
Yeah.
You both put off Kakariko, though, so you both did that around the same time, and then at that point, the two of you kind of converged.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing, the difference was the fire rod. Tam is still searching for it. Tam ended up doing the Zora area very early and didn't have the money to do Zora, and just never got around to doing it again.
Yeah, it was kind of lucky that I just died to a crab.
Yeah, you got bullied a lot in the early game there.
Yeah, the friggin' Dead Rocks had the worst patterns on the mountain for me.
Oh. Dead Rocks just love to be right where you don't want them to be.
Yeah.
And then, of course, doing the Graveyard Ledge clip, the boulders weren't nice either.
Nah.
So Tam actually ended up duping the sword at the dam, and I thought that might be an early advantage, but...
Yeah, I thought about leaving that to dupe it for later, and I was just like, I kind of wish I had now, because I hate doing Master Sword fights, but, you know.
Yeah. You did pretty well, and then, of course, luckily finding the silver arrow so that Ganon wasn't torture.
Yeah. Yeah, those
You weren't able to save the run by hovering, though, so I'm a little sad.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous. Like, so I just couldn't hold it out. I made it, like, almost to the other side and then fell.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'll try it again. And then, nah.
Yeah, it's always different when everyone's watching. When it's just you, no problems.
Yeah.
So throughout the run, did you feel more like behind, or did you feel more ahead, or did you have no sense of that at all?
Well, there was stuff in Kakariko, so I felt good about that. And then there was the fire rod on Zora, and I felt good about that. Because I know Tam routes similar that I do, and does Zora era pretty early, so he probably didn't die to a crab.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it felt okay, but also, I mean, playing Tam, you don't know what's gonna happen, so you just get
They're gonna do
up.
some meme route that's suddenly gonna put them far ahead. They did do the blockbuster.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm not either. I'm always a fan of the early Kakariko play. So if I had played this seed, it probably would have been a lot different than the way you two routed.
I mean, the flippers being on Sick Kid. Well, I guess it didn't really matter because there was a bottle right below it, but you know.
Yeah.
I like having things before I go to Kakariko that'll let me do more of the stuff in Kakariko and not have to like worry about going back.
Yeah, I feel like that's more the meta, to put off Kakariko and put off Escape. Those are like the things. Do Paradox, do South Shore, those easily dense checks, and then afterwards kind of like pushing for Kakariko once you can do Flute and Bottle and other stuff. But 117 is a really good time. It seemed like it was always easy to know what the next play was. There's no point where you're kind of just confused and not sure. So
I suppose. I mean, Swamp was there. Swamp was in there at any point. And Turtle Rock. Well, Turtle Rock, looking for the fire rod in Turtle Rock is kind of dumb. Because basically everything's almost always locked behind the fire rod. And then GT, like, when you go to GT is, I guess, a big swing in this game no matter what. in this mode.
Yeah. I feel like GT wasn't always the best play because of the lack of fire. That it's nice to not have to double jump GT.
Well, I mean, like I didn't care as much about that though, because either Fire Rod was there and the big key would be on the right side, or Fire Rod wasn't there and whatever. You know, I'd have to go back in anyway. So, and like leaving GT isn't that bad. Like based on what Zero Rush was saying for like GT entry time or entry times into Ganon,
Hmm.
like you can go back to GT faster than you can go from Link's house to the Ganon hole. So
True. Tam, currently doing left side swamp, still in search for this fire rod.
yeah, it's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah.
Zora's gonna be like very, very, very last.
Yeah. I'm wondering how long they're going to continue to push for or just forfeit. I'm the kind of player that if I know I've lost, there's no point in
Well,
continuing.
I don't think Tam's looking at the race room at all. So
Fair.
Tam doesn't really look at the race room. So like maybe at some point in like 20 minutes or something, but before that.
They don't have too much more to check, so I'm just wondering, they're just going to slowly funnel down till that's the only thing left.
I'm surprised Tam didn't dupe gloves too.
Where was the first glove?
The first glove was on Spectacle Rock.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they had the money to do that at the time. They ended up getting the second glove, I believe, in Spike Cave.
Okay.
Yeah, the sword was the only dupe. There was also a sword in the flooded room in Swamp, like in the back of Swamp.
There was always a sword in Swamp.
There's always a sword in Swamp.
TR play. TR play is really rough.
Yeah.
Just in terms of statistics or whatever. Looking at the
But at this
Yeah.
point, that's like the only dungeon left to check, so
yeah.
they've already done all of GT as well as every other dungeon and all of it's possible in Swamp without the fire rod. All of our overworld checks, they did the Smith chain a little bit earlier, so it's just kind of slowly funneling down.
Oh, where was the lamp?
I believe Lamp was on Argus.
Oh.
It was somewhere in Swamp, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were kind of curious about that and how much fire was going to hold back the seed with desert as well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to see lamp personally. Like, I wanted to see it after I got Fire Rod, not before I got Fire Rod.
Yeah, definitely. Because having Lamp behind the fire rod is just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
Thinking back at this seat, though, it wasn't very HMG. We didn't have to do any of the tips or anything.
No, I mean, there was pod. I forgot to open the first door in pod, but that was okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that. It doesn't really have a major effect. It just means you don't have to do as many keys
I mean, if shooting room isn't a key, then it matters, and it kind of stinks, but...
True.
Oh, this might be so.
It might be. No, they're doing the front. This is, again, the best chance to do Zora, though, that after doing the front of TR, just mirror and then jump down.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, this like one item hunt thing in HMG kind of turns into a bummer because there's like compared to like non-glitch rando, there's a lot more single items that can that lock like very few things that you end up in trouble with having to hunt for in the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. With glitches, things are more open, and so it could be more of a needle in the haystack, and you don't get funneled to your item as soon.
Yeah, it's just like hammer and ice rod and like fire rod, depending on your layout and all that. For
yeah, when's the double rod for HMG?
That's what we. Oh, there it is. Tim gets the fire rod.
Finally gets it. Probably kicking themselves. But off to Skull Woods and then just Ganon.
Oh, we're going to see Scudge Woods. Let's go!
Scudge Woods?
Yeah, maybe.
I have no idea what that is, so I'm sitting
here. You don't know what
Scudge
Woods is? A map wrap from TR to Skull Woods?
Ah, I didn't know that had a name.
Yeah. I know Scudge Woods. I thought about
that's one of my pet peeves, that like every obscure glitch needs some meme name, so like I have no idea what people are talking about anymore.
Well, I mean, if you name it nothing, then you're just going to end up with just as much nondescript stuff, or you're going to have to like explain everything when you talk about it every time, which is the exact same scenario as just having a meme. But meme names are fun. So
I suppose, but I guess a name related to the location would help. Like if we're talking about Tomb Raider, I'm like, what is that? I mean, I do know what it is, but it's kind of like that's the general thing. But whatever. If other people are having fun, I'm not going to stop them. I'll keep my grumpy feelings to myself. Just do speed runs of categories no one cares about. That's my thing.
Hey, Total Ruby cares about.
I don't see him talking about Finnig.
Okay, that's true. No. Well, who knows what Total Ruby's doing right now?
I don't know. Taking a break.
Yeah.
All right, there's crystal number 7 though for Tam.
So it was a much better moth fight than I had.
Well, Gold Sword makes a difference, so yeah, you were kind of down to the wire there.
Close to getting the phase 2 moth.
Oh, that's terrible.
It always feels so bad. You see him swoop, and like for a second there, it doesn't register. Then you're like, "Oh, I just got phase 2 moth." Oh,
why is it so much harder? What happened?
I messed up.
I'm not sure if from the left entrance, if running back to the river to do the clip is faster than save and quitting and jumping down from the mountain.
I know that Crithless said that it is before, so I guess the
Okay.
information jam will go on. I would not do this just because I end up screwing up the Dark World River clip as much as not and fooling.
Yeah, I don't know how to walk after you do the clip, so but we're in our Ganon fight. Silver's gold sword should be quick and easy.
I think Tam got a 20 in the Swamp Big Chest, so that was where the last sword was. So there were two swords in Swamp.
I missed that. There's our fourth arrow. And Ganon is done. Oh, let's get our GGs in the chat for Tam. Hopefully Tam could come in for an interview as well so we can see their opinion on how things went. All right, we've got Tam here. Tam, how did you feel about the seed? I think your mic might be muted. I see the mute icon.
Oh, thank you. Yes, GG or
GG Tam.
yeah, I mean, seed was fine. Obviously, kind of once I don't do Zora, it's all over. But I had some fun.
Yeah, kind of the Zora was kind of the nail in the coffin. The race was really close until that point.
I put it off for a really long time because, well, not really long, but like I put it off for longer than I would because I was trying to be conscientious about finding rupees, but it didn't happen.
That makes sense. You needed money for the red potion to dupe, right?
Well, I got it from the waterfall, but yeah, I did have a nice 3-sword advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you two were both very close, and Yoho ended up putting off Zora for a while also. And so around the time that he was checking Hookshot Cave and things, he ended up going down to Catfish and then doing Zora after that, where Tam, you happened to be in the same area, but then chose... It looked like you were trying to do the swim clip back up to Dark Death Mountain, but ended up saving quitting. So that was the point where things diverged.
I thought about doing Zora, but at some point I was just kind of like, let's just never do Zora and hope it's fine. I was like, going to Todorok didn't really feel good with Fire Rod Go mode, and then like I screwed up because I was invisible, which happens when you block bust. So I put off Todorok for ages as well, and then ended up going back anyway, which felt great.
Yeah.
I figured like I can just skip a lot of it if it's Fire Rod locked at least.
Yeah. So how did you feel about the early Moon Pearl?
Yeah, I was really glad because if I didn't find something in Escape, I was gonna have to go to Kakariko. But then like there was nothing in the Dark World, so I was kind
Yeah, a
of
lot of
worried.
the overworld checks were kind of a dud.
Everything was in Kakariko, basically.
Yeah, I got really worried after Kakariko because I was like, I'm one item from Go Mode. If it's in like the Dark Death Mountain area, then I think Yoho is probably gonna have gotten there a lot earlier because he would be willing to hover, which was gonna be a really funny like hovering mattering in a seed where Hookshot was in Kakariko, but yeah, didn't end up happening.
Indeed.
I mean, the easy bow was in Kakariko too.
Oh yeah, I was like kind of mad that all the stuff kept showing up on the way, like the swords and bows, because I was like, I really just want the sword dupe to actually matter.
Hey, it mattered. I only have Master Sword.
Yeah, you
Crying.
only would have won by like 18 minutes instead of 20.
I mean,
No,
I
it
thought
was fine.
about the Duke, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was like I probably wouldn't have done it if I wasn't on Restream, but I
Always
felt
gotta
fine
show
about
off
the
for the
things.
restream.
If Fire was anywhere else, I'm sure it would have been a lot more competitive.
Oh yeah, I probably would have lost because I blew the beginning of the game so much. Like that, the crab death was my third or fourth death in the first like 8 minutes of the game. So yeah, I got beat up on Death Mountain.
I died
Squirrels and boulders.
after the pyramid. I died because I was like, I wasn't even sure what I was gonna do next, so I was like not paying attention to what was actually on the screen, and I just walked into the Hinox, which was like fine because it made it a lot easier to route the rest of the Dark World stuff after that.
Yeah, it's so weird what to do from pyramid. Normally, I think I just start saving, quitting inside the pyramid berry.
Yeah, that might be for the best, especially with their ammo for hammer packs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any last thoughts you'd like to share with us?
No, thanks for the game, Tam. You probably should have won. I lucked out. Good luck on getting the reverse sweep now.
We'll see. Shout out to you, Zakat, for commentating it. It's not a dumb time for you, but it's a dumb time for everyone else. So
Yeah, thanks to High Roller and Easy Peasy for the restreaming crew.
It was fun. I might try to commentate more.
we'll probably have another dumb time race for you. So
Yeah.
Oh boy. Do you have race 2 scheduled yet, or?
We have not.
yeah, we'll figure that out soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. I guess we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for enjoying. There's going to be much more HMG action, glitches, and Zelda in the future. So make sure to keep up with the schedule and other things. So I'll be signing off as well. Thanks for watching.